In Neville Goddard's 1963 lecture, His Name, Neville tells a story of a man who was once penniless in Kentucky, but now he's worth over $6 million. And he tells the story that this strange little fella told him on how he naturally manifested it into his life. So he told Neville he came penniless from Kentucky, but he was able to buy a small little plot of land in Ventura County. Neville says he wanted to have oil, so he would sleep on the land itself. He didn't build some little shack. He slept right on the ground. With his head to the ground, he would hear oil coming in. He would smell oil. And he would come home sometimes in the morning at 6 a.m., and his wife was distraught. "What has happened to you?" He was sleeping on the land, bringing it in. And Neville goes on how this man is nearly 70, with no financial problems. In fact, he has even given away fortunes. But even though this man was able to use his imagination and sleep on the ground and hear, smell, feel oil, and bring it forth, he, like many other people, you have a few successes or even a great success or two, but then you get bored. You forget how you brought your fortune in. You forget what it's all about, knowing your true power, who you really are. You fall back asleep, fall back into limitation. So now, even though he's wealthy, he's bored, and he's not physically well, and he doesn't even think about how he had once brought that oil in. Neville says, when he put his head on that earth and began to listen, who was listening? If you would say to him, "What are you doing?" "I am smelling oil." That's what he would say. You have called the name of God. "I am smelling oil. I am hearing oil," is what he would say. He brought it all in, but he doesn't remember the name of God. Now he is saying, "I am unwell." He is blaspheming the name of God. You are told the man who blasphemes the name of God stones him to death. The stone is showing the facts of life. So he is showing the facts of life. And as Neville's teaching you here, how many times do you stone your own self or stone another when you start calling out the facts of life and you take yourself or another out of the vision of the imagination where anything's possible? But instead we don't realize how we stone ourselves, how we stone others with the facts of life. So instead of stoning yourself or stoning others, learn to bring in what you want by feeling. Become a feeling addict. Become a feeling master. Neville goes on to say, lead them out of the wilderness into light by my name. When you can lead yourself today, no matter where you are, whether you are now bewildered, whether you are unwanted as you think you are, or unemployed as you may be, lead yourself from these states of barrenness into states of fruition, a fruitful state in the name. Just simply assume, I am, and you name it, hear it, smell it, see it to the best of your ability, and to the degree that you remain loyal to what you are imagining and hearing, you will actually externalize it in your world. Don't judge it before you try it. So Neville's teaching you here the power of I am. All day long, we say different things attached to I am. We even do it to other people, and we even attach these different things to their beingness, what they are. But when you limit yourself or freeze another in a limited state, stoning them, you are keeping them in the wilderness, in the darkness. With the power of your word and the feelings stirred behind them, you can free yourself, but you must stay persistent. I am. What is it that you want to be instead? And if you're not what you want to be yet, what do you want? I am. And you name it, and you stay faithful to it. And in closing, Neville says, I can tell you in my own case, small as it has all been when I was faithful to the use of God's name, when I dared to assume that I am what at the moment reason denies and my senses deny it, and I remain faithful to it, then I invariably realized it. There have been unnumbered times that I have not been faithful to it. I coasted, as we all coast after a while. Then we are jacked up suddenly, and we have to go back to the use of the name. And so, those who know thy name put their trust in thee, not to anything outside of thee. And your name is I am, and it is your name forever and forever. So put your trust in the name of God by walking out of here tonight in the belief that you are already the man, the woman you would like to be, and see the world as you would see it were it true. And to the degree that you remain loyal to that assumption, to that degree, you will externalize it and reap it as fruit within this world. And many who are now hearing Neville's message, to one degree or another, we have consciously applied these laws, these teachings. And from one degree or another, we have realized different successes. But as Neville says, we often forget, and we start to coast. We no longer are applying it, refining it. Or we think we are, but when we really examine, we aren't. So right now, you can stop adding anything you don't want to I am, and instead, get clear what do you want, and start adding that to I am as though it already is, and continue this practice day after day until you know it's yours or it is yours. And take this now into the silence. What are you? I am, and name whatever your heart truly wishes for. Now, let us go into the silence. Good.